Okay. So first question, what is Active Directory? And what role does it play in a Windows Server environment? So Active Directory is a directory service developed by Microsoft, and you can imagine it as a cloud server. It stores information about the users, computers, resources in a network, and it helps administrators manage security, authority, and permission in a centralized way. Second question, what is first tree domain and child domain? Domain is a logic group of users, computers, and resources. Tree is one or more domains connected in history with a continuous namespace. First is a top-level container that hosts one or more trees. It is a security binary. Last is child domain. The child domain is the domain on the parent domain. For example, a company has a sales department. Is a company. For example, the company name is a domain, and sales is a department of company, and sales is a child domain of the company domain. The third question, explain what DHCP is and how it functions on Windows Server. How DHCP port number. DHCP stands for dynamic host. It assigns dynamic IP address to your devices. It automatically assigns IP address, subnet masks, gateway, and DNS server to your client's devices. And the port have different port. Use the UDP67 is server port, and the UDP68 is client port. What is DNS, and why is critical for Windows Server? And what is Windows port number? DNS stands for Domain Names System. It translates domain names into IP addresses, so computers can locate each other on the network. In Windows Server, DNS is critical because AD relies on it for locating domain controllers and services. And DNS port number use the UDP and TCP53. What are group policies and how it's applied on Windows servers? Group policies is rules that applies a group of people. It often used to manage users and computer settings across the domain. They can control things like password policies, desktop wallpaper, software installation, and they apply through group policy objects in Active Directory. And in Windows Server 2019, also use Active Directory to assign the group policy. What is the purpose of Windows Server roles and features, and how do you install a role? What is RS82? What is purpose of this role is the main functions of the server, for example, like DHCP, DNS, and file server. And the features like additional tools or servers that support roles. I install them via Server Manager or PowerShell. RSAT is full name is called Remote Server Administration Tools, a tool that allows administrators to manage server roles and features remotely from a client machine. How do you create and manage a user account in Active Directory? So for the first step, I will open Active Directory users and computers is operation called users and computers, and right click on the organization. For example, if I want to create sales department, create TICA, I right click sales department. Sales department is organization unit, and click new and user. I will set the username, password, and policies. I manage accounts by resetting passwords, disabling the accounts, moving them between all organization units. How do you create and configure a shared folder on Windows Server? First of all, I will create a folder on server first. Just right click and right click the folder, properties, go to sharing tab, advanced sharing, and share the folder and set the share permission. And then I will go to security tab. On the security tab, I will set who can have full access, who can only access read-only folder. After that, I will go to the personal computers. I will right-click this PC and map a network drive, and enter the folder's address and click OK, and it will create a network drive, and you can access the folder. So that's how we create and configure a shared folder on Windows Server. Explain the difference between a work group and a domain in Windows Server environment. So work group is a small peer-to-peer network with no centralized management. Each computer manages its own users and permissions. It cannot apply the group policies. It is not centralized. But domain is a centralized management with Active Directory. It manages a group of users. It can apply the group policies. It can set the group policy at one time. You don't have to access the computers one by one to modify the settings. Can you explain the different type of groups in Windows Server and what are the functions? How do you use them in managing permission access? Okay, there's two type of different groups. First is security group. Security group is often is a group of people that used to I can assign the permissions and resources to these special peoples. Second is distribution group. Distribution group is often used broadcasting the information to a group of people. It is used for email distribution list, lost a lot for permission.